Welcome, everybody, to a marvelous Monday. You are at Ignite Humanity Live, and I am your host, Lady JB, and I'm happy to be here because we're talking about ways to ignite humanity, and we've just come off an incredible weekend. I hope wherever you are in the world, you were able to celebrate this weekend and enjoy some time with yourself and with your family, and as we said last week, have a really good weekend. Well, it's Monday, and so we've got some fun to chat with you today because it's all about ideas. What are some ideas that we can implement into our lives to ignite humanity? And starting with igniting ourselves. We want to ignite the planet. And the way we do that is one person at a time, one idea at a time, one ignite moment at a time. And what is an ignite moment? Well, I recently was talking with another guest, and they were saying, this ignite moment thing is really quite amazing. Well, every single person on the planet has an ignite moment. In fact, we have multiple ignite moments throughout different areas of our life over different periods of time. And those ignite moments really change us. They kind of wake us up and inspire us to do something different. And many people have ignite moments that inspire them to do something to better the planet. And they start with bettering themselves. And so we love to tell those powerful ignite moments. We love to tell those stories and have guests on the show to share their ignite moments so they can inspire you. Have you looked back in your life? Maybe you've had an ignite moment that was very life-changing and transformative, something that really pushed you in a new direction and sort of broke open the walnut shell so to get the good stuff inside and really helped you see how you could be different in life. And in doing that, you have ignited others. Your tenacity, perseverance, the dedication that you've been through in your ignitement was an inspiration and a beacon for others. And we want to tell those stories because I strongly believe it's ignite moments that's going to bring us together. Those stories of perseverance and dedication, they make us feel connected to one another. They make us feel closer, and they allow us to see each other in a very different way. We recognize people through their perseverance and through their story, and that gives us compassion and understanding. And ladies and gentlemen, that is what is going to ignite humanity. We want to make an absolute difference. And so we're here every week, Monday to Friday, on this show, Ignite Humanity Live, taking care of you and showing you ways that you can ignite the planet. Now, if you've missed any of our past episodes, you're like, what's this show all about? What? We have a fantastic platform where you can go and watch all of our episodes and see what we're up to, because we want you to resonate with the many different guests that we have from all over the globe with powerful, unique, and diverse ignite moments. And so check out ignitehumanity.life/watch. You can see all of our episodes for free. And of course, you can go to our VOD channel and see everything over there. All right, well, let's get to it. Let's check out our guest. So happy to have someone amazing in the house today. Jameece Pinckney is the president and CEO of HighQuest Consulting Solutions, where she formulates and leads the execution of HighQuest strategy for delivering leading solutions to customers. Jameece serves as chairman of the Ophelia Foundation, a nonprofit organization which she founded in 2014. Vera Bradley, the company, selected her as a woman of inspiration based on her charitable work. She is an international best-selling author and was featured on the cover of the Gainesville Lifestyle magazine as a woman-owned small business owner. She's amazing. We love her, and we welcome her to the show. Come on in, girl. How you doing?
Good morning. How are you doing? I'm doing well.
We're doing great, and we're so happy to have you. And then we say good afternoon and good evening for wherever we are in the planet, right?
That's right. That's right.
How are you today? And so happy to have you here because you really are an amazing individual. I've loved spending some time with you. Tell us a little bit about your organization and how you feel that you are igniting humanity in a different and unique way.
Well, first of all, JB, Lady JB, thank you so much for the invitation to be here today. I'm so excited. Easter was a wonderful weekend. Just focusing on the resurrection and all that brings. I am the president and CEO of HighQuest Consulting Solutions. We are a woman-owned small business. We're headquartered here in Gainesville, Virginia, just about 45 minutes outside of Washington, D.C. Just a great area for doing work with the government. We provide acquisition support services, mission support services, project program management and technical services to our federal and commercial clients. And we've been in business for about 7 years working in this area. So pretty excited about the work we do. And I believe the work we do is inspiring in that as a woman-owned, as a minority woman-owned small business, it certainly encourages others to say, you know what, I can do that too.
Mm-hmm.
So we work with other small businesses to bring inspiration, empowerment, and a whole lot of love to the work that they're doing in the community as well.
I really do appreciate that. And of course, as a woman in business, I honor and recognize you as a woman in business. Let me ask you a little bit. I had some struggles as a woman in business,
Okay.
and curious if you had some roadblocks and stumbling blocks away, as you said, minority woman in business. Were there other challenges that you really had to overcome that you feel helped you ignite yourself?
Well, starting out in this industry, government contracting, you don't see a lot of minority owned businesses, so I think that was probably one of the first challenges, just inserting myself into an industry that, is one that, you can get work, you cannot get work. It's a heavily laden field, thousands, hundreds of thousands of other small businesses. And so you're trying to fight your way through and kind of clawing your way through to make a difference. And
Mm-hmm.
I think what sets you apart, or what can set you apart, are the services that you offer, and actually bringing solutions to the government or to your clients that they either know they have or didn't know or don't know that they have. So I think in the beginning, just coming in into the industry, that's heavily weighted with tons and tons of contractors trying to make your way in, and make a difference, and really bring value, based on the work that you offer, based on the solutions that you can bring to your clients. So starting out, I would encourage, those that are wanting to go into business, particularly in the federal, in this industry. Um, be sure of yourself. And I talk about my 5 B's of business wherever I go. And I think one of the first B is believing in yourself, believing in what you do, believing in the solutions that you can bring and the services that you provide is the first step.
And this doesn't just apply to business. That's what I love about your 5 Bs is that homeowners and folks and family and parents, they can actually do exactly the same thing in their own ecosystem, in their own community, in their own family. If you believe in yourself and you have faith and determination and this knowingness that you can do it, that's a beacon for other people around you. Would you agree?
I totally agree. People ask, and I'm on a number of platforms, just in the industry, but also outside of, just in community. And I talk about the 5 B's. They aren't just for me being a small business government contractor, but believing in yourself, building your business, whatever that is, right?
Mm.
Branding your business, banking on your business. Obviously, you want it to be profitable, but there's a lot around the finance piece of whatever business you're entering into. But at the end of the day, you don't want to break the 5th B in the process, because starting a business, being a business owner, is challenging. It can be daunting. You can have those moments where, did I really do the right thing? And you begin to question yourself and fear sets in, but you have to push through all of that, but don't break in the process. If this is something that's been given to you and you really believe in what you're doing and what you're offering, you will succeed.
I love those. And let's just go through them quickly. Can you give some suggestions for those 5 Bs for people that are working in another industry? Maybe they're working at the gas station. Maybe they're working in corporate. Maybe they're showing up every day on an organic farm. Is there some other ways that people can realize that those Bs are not just some? Because I feel like some people are like, I'm not a business owner, and they push back. But the truth is, your job and your life and your aspirations, that is part of your business. You are your own business.
You're
Even
your
if
own
you don't
business.
have what you would classify as a business, you are your own business, and how you create yourself is a business in itself. Can you go through the 5 Bs quickly for maybe some of the people who work for someone else?
Sure. I may add another one, JB. You mentioned being a beacon.
Yeah.
So that may become the 6th B, right? But the first B is believing.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you do and set your hands to, anything you aspire to achieve, you have to believe in it. I can believe in those things I can sell things that I believe in, right? You
Mm-hmm.
have to believe in yourself, and you have to be able, through that belief, you can convince others that you're serious about what you're trying to do and accomplish. It doesn't matter what walk of life, it doesn't matter what area you're working in, as you've pointed out. believing in yourself, believing that even through God, you can do all things. That's the first step, right?
Yeah,
So
because people they really get enthusiastic when you're enthusiastic. If you don't like it or you're not into it or you don't think it's going to happen, you definitely can't convince somebody else that it's going to happen. And it just
indeed,
takes one idea, right? Like
just one
think of all
idea.
the great leaders who had the one idea. They sparked their mission or their movement because they truly believed it was possible.
Indeed. And, through belief, there are a number of ignite moments that can come through that, right? You get an idea, oh my God, I want to start this. And I think going through COVID, really inspired and brought an awakening in a lot of people. I was getting a lot of calls. I was talking to a number of people who just decided that, you know what, I think I want to leave this job and I want to start baking cakes.
Hmm.
I want to leave this area and I want to now become a police officer. There's
Hmm.
a number of different things that inspired them. And I learned a lot through that process and just talking with entrepreneurs, people who are aspiring to become entrepreneurs. And now they have a sense of when your back is against the wall, you know what, and you have this time on your hands, you start thinking about those things. Oh, well, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can now take this moment to. And so we began to have those discussions. And it starts with believing in what you can bring to the table and
Yeah.
believing in your craft, believing that, you know what, I probably can do this and just need a little encouragement and some good folks behind them to help push them along, to help them, encourage them, and it can happen. So believing is that number one B, I believe.
I feel too like when you believe, you're willing to sort of break the paradigm. You're willing to say, well, it's never been done before, or maybe there's some naysayers, but I'm willing to crack open and bust through the box and see it in a different way because I believe so strongly that there's a way for it to happen. That's a
Sure,
great one. And I think many people
sure.
can relate to that.
Yeah.
All right. What's the second one again?
Second one is building the
Building.
business. You know, you can't build a house on sand.
Mm.
You need to build it on a strong foundation. And a lot of people really don't know how to go about starting a business, right? And
Hmm.
so that next step is after you believe, how do I get started? What do I do? How do I go to the state and register, my business? And so those building blocks, and I talk a lot about this in the training that I do, and how to set yourself up to make sure you're legitimate, getting those building blocks in place to get started. It's easy to say that, you know what, I want to be a business owner or I want to start, selling lemonade. Today, how can I get a lemonade stand and it's okay and it's legal and it's okay. So some of those things that help you build, those building blocks is going to help you establish your business and establish that strong foundation.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, anything you want to do. I had a client who wanted to upgrade the playground in her town and started building the blocks of like, what does it take? And what do I have to learn? And what do I have to know? And how do I go about assessing the land? And who are the people who build playgrounds? And so this wasn't her business. This was just her desire to start building the foundation of what do I have to learn to become a person who knows how to revamp this playground and fill it with new equipment in a way that's safe for kids. And so, folks, again, you don't have to have a business to be building something. You can be building your faith, you can be building your friendships, you can be building a relationship. It's a
Indeed.
really important one. Yeah, thank you so much.
Indeed. Yeah. And I was just going to say that, it doesn't have to be about the business. It could be about a mission or a goal
Mm.
you're setting yourself out to do. Someone could want to start a nonprofit. Someone could want to get out there and, become a member of a board. How do I go about? I believe I can do that. So now what steps do I need to take to get started? All of that's in your building process. The believing you can do it, whatever that is, and then those, formulating those building blocks to get started.
All right, you get the building blocks, you have the belief, and then you step into the
Branding.
yeah.
Branding yourself, girl, as you know so well, because you have an incredible brand. Ignite is just mm. And so the branding, I mean, a lot is wrapped into that, from how you present yourself, what you want that brand to look like, from social media, the consistency and colors, to the marketing and how you putting your information out there. Are you doing paper? Are you doing email? Are you doing social media, print? How are you
Mhm.
putting yourself out there? But the branding and the consistency of that, is how you make your mark. So having a good branding strategy, marketing, development, communication, in bringing forth whatever that business is, whatever that idea is, whatever that mission or goal is, I think is really, really key and essential to you moving forward. And recognition, so you want people to recognize who you are.
Yeah, and branding can also work at home. I remember one time I bought purple potatoes from this farmer's market and I couldn't convince my kid to eat them. My kids were like, no way. So I took a Play-Doh container from their Play-Doh kit. I took out all the purple Play-Doh. I mashed up the purple potatoes and put them inside the Play-Doh container, and I took a fork and I started eating it, and the kids were like, what? And then they're like, give me that, let me try it. And so it was all about the branding.
That's it.
You can brand and have fun with your kids. Of course you can. I always tell my children when they want something, it's all about the delivery, it's all about the timing, it's all about the presentation. Like, Mom, I really want that new bike. And it's like, okay, how can you present that in a way that's going to support? And so branding isn't just for business. I think branding is how you show up. It's how you get up every day. It's how you walk out into the community. It's how you be your word. It's how you answer people. So there's a lot of parts of branding that people just push over into business.
Push over. Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, branding, as you say, as you get up every day, what is your mantra? What do people know you as? What is your personality? All that kind of is wrapped into, the branding of oneself. How do you present yourself in social media? And so I think the branding piece is very, very important to the believing, right? And then whatever that business idea, that mission is you're trying to accomplish in the building. And then you move into the branding piece, which, this is a representation of who I am and what I would like to be recognized for, perceived as legacy. That's another word that I know that, resonates with you.
Yes.
And so after you do those things, as you're doing those things, the next B, the fourth B is in the financial piece, the banking on your business, whatever that is, whether it's the bottom line, whether it's trying to identify financial resources that you need to access to get where you're trying to accomplish. If it's for profit or if it's not for profit, whatever you're looking to get out of what you set your goals to, what you set your hands to is on the banking side.
And I'm going to say, bet on yourself, like bet on you, bet on you, because no one's going to be more passionate and more committed and more enthusiastic about an idea than you. No one else is going to invest in it the way you're going to invest in it. So bet on you, bet that you're going to be the person to bring it to fruition. All right. Last one is
don't break the process. How many times you've been in business now you're celebrating 4 years right now, Lady JB. How many times in the last 4 years have you thought, you know what? I don't know.
Right.
You had those moments and even me, and the things that I've tried to accomplish and that I have accomplished even through my business. There've been some daunting days. And I have to remind myself that I took that risk. I put, it's kind of like being, and I'm not a blackjack or a poker player, but I know that when you put all your chips on the table, right, you push it all in. That's me. I pushed it all in. And I just had this conversation with someone the other day and say, when you're in business, it's a great risk.
Correct.
But with great risk comes great reward if you stick to it, and so I encourage people and try to empower others to say, but don't break in the process. Yeah, you're going to have some challenges. Yes, it's not going to always work out the way you thought. But if you stick to your goal, you write it all down, look at that vision board, remember why you're doing what you're doing, you keep believing, the success is going to definitely come.
And I'm going to pause in that to say, be bold, instead of don't break. I'm like, be bold, because there are days where you don't want to get up and there are days where it seems daunting, and you've got to be bold. You've got to say, I'm going to push through this. I'm going to do more than the other guy. I'm going to be willing to make sure that I show up early, stay late, be the last person to go home, be the first person to show up. You got to be bold, and you got to be bold in what you believe. So I love that this is a complete circle and it just keeps going and going. Well, I want to know a little bit, and I know our listeners are super intrigued. What was the Ignite moment that started all this? What made you feel like, I want to teach this and I want to train this, I want to offer this to people so that they can succeed in their business?
Well, I think one is I have two pieces. I think the first part started about 20 years ago, almost 20 years ago, when I decided to, you know what, I want to change my career path. I was in law, and then I decided that, you know what, I want to move to the DC area. I'm going to give this government contracting thing a whirl. And I just believed that I could do it. I didn't know where that direction or that path was going to take me, but I got a one-way ticket.
Mhm.
I filled up one duffel bag. I left everything behind in Chicago and got on a plane October of 2004. And I landed and said, okay, Lord, I'm here. Where do we go? And I landed an opportunity that put me in a personal services contract with the Navy, Naval District Washington here. And the road just kind of opened up from there. I took that, continued to build on that over the last, several years. And, here we are. 7 years ago, we launched, got our first really big contract, and we've been off and running ever since. So I would say that, that belief that, you know what, I don't know where the road is going to take me, but I believe that there's something greater on the other side of this. And that was an awakening. And I've held on to those. I've held on to that moment because so many things, we could talk for hours, but in that moment, I realized, my faith was greater than the mustard seed,
Yep.
and it just blossomed in life. And I don't know if my husband is listening or watching, but certainly he came along in that process, and together we've been able to just accomplish so much, together, and building this business, and here we are. So I would say that that was the first ignite moment. And if I may say, meeting you, of course, was another ignite moment, and allowing me, because it was the first time I was able to really explore the authorship of writing, which pulled out a lot that was, just kind of on the inside. And now
Mm.
it's in paper, I put thought to paper, and now it's in print. And so for me, that was another, I think, ignite moment on this end. And now I'm continuing on this journey. I'm just
Mhm,
writing, and here
mhm,
we are.
mm. Well, two things about that, and thank you so much for the compliment. And I love having you as one of our authors. You're such an inspiration to our entire community. There's something really powerful about that one-way ticket. I want to just go back to that for a minute, because when you bought the one-way ticket, that was you betting on yourself, believing in yourself, building something new, and deciding that you were going to go after it. And I think a lot of people can relate to the one-way ticket and just knowing like there's no going back. This is what I'm going to do. And when you have that much conviction and desire and knowingness, the universe always provides. Sure, there's going to be all kinds of twists and turns in the road, but the road is going to go forward. So I just want to honor you for that. I think that's super inspirational. And also too, for your writing, for you being willing to share your vulnerable moments, put them in books and stories that allow other people to read what you've done. You truly are an inspiration to women who want to have their own business, of course, to minority women. I just want to say thank you and honor you so, so much.
Yeah, that one way ticket it probably could be a story, just the one way ticket,
Yeah.
right? But it really, in that moment, so many things happen, JB, and I share that story all the time. And in addition to that, really quickly, I had a budget. I was really on a tight budget. In the DC area, it's very expensive. Where I landed is where I wanted to live, and that's DCA, in an area called Arlington, Virginia, in Crystal City. High rent down there during that time. And so my sister, she was like, Jameece, we can't live here. And I'm like, this is where we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And we had a budget of 14. I had 700, she had 700. So together we had a $1,500 budget for rent, right? And the rent was going for 2,700 where we wanted to live. And I said, put the application in. She put it in. We were in Walmart. The leasing agent called us and said, you all won't believe this. First of all, you got approved. Amen. But he said, you will not believe this. A deal just popped into our system, and your rent will be $13.99. And, I said, and the Lord is funny because he gave us $1 back. We split it 50-50. But it just goes to show that when you're walking in your purpose and in your belief and your
Yes.
conviction, those doors and those roads will open up, and the way will be paved for you. And that's an encouraging word, even for me myself, every time I share that story. But I hope certainly for someone else who's wondering if I should take that step. The fear can grip you, but you have to overcome your fear with faith. We talk about this now and ignite your faith in our story. And so you have to keep pressing on and keep moving on and just believe that you can do it. And guess what? At the end of the day, you can always go back to doing what you're doing. But if you have something inside of you telling you to push forward and push through and walk ahead, do it. I'm here to tell you, you will succeed in that. So
amen. I love it. Amen. Amen. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, gorgeous. I love all your stories. You're right. We could talk for hours. We put up on the screen how people can find you and learn more about your amazing 5 Bs, and we've added some more to them.
Be bold. So
that's right. Be bold and bet on you. All right. Big hugs and kisses to you. Thanks so much for being on our show.
Thank you.
You got it. As you can see, folks, we love sharing new information. Today was all about ideas. I hope those 5 Bs were very inspiring to you, and you decide that, you know what, I can bet on myself, really believe and decide that I am going to build a foundation towards what it is I want. I'm going to bank on the things that I need to do, and I'm really going to make sure that you go after exactly what it is you want. All right. Well, if you want to watch this show again, you can at ignitehumanity.life/watch. If you want to tell us what you're up to and be on the show, go to ignitehumanity.life/share. And if you want to help us with the things that we're doing to ignite humanity, you can go to our charity. We are doing incredible things by building schools around the globe. Go to ignitehumanity.life/donate, and you can be a part of building schools in third world countries to ignite the lives of children and absolutely help with literacy as we grow it. All right. Well, thank you so much for being on the show. It's been an incredible day, and I hope that wherever you are on the planet, you have ignite moments filling your day, and that today you take some blessed time to give to yourself, be good to yourself, take care of yourself, have a little bit of sanctuary time, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Now, more than ever, we need to come together to connect with one another. We need to feel the truth in who we are and let go of everything that's happened in the past. We need to empower every person on the planet and awaken hearts, enliven souls, come together, laugh, play, rejoice, connect, create, and love. It's time to ignite humanity. We want you to be a part of something that will impact the future for everyone. We want you to tell your story, share your Ignite moment, show people who you truly are. Be a part of igniting humanity and making a difference in the world and all of our futures.